How do you obtain a life of bliss? When you live life and have experiences, those thoughts, feelings, and emotions become entangled in you on a cellular level. They embody you before you even realize they can. Your greatest influences will be from your primary caregivers and family. This can happen as young as 2 years old. For example, a 2-year-old child may pair a positive emotional experience with trucks if they have tied that experience to a positive caregiver who drives one. Every thought that you connect with an emotion becomes subconsciously ingrained in you before you even realize it. It is by tapping into the subconscious mind and uncovering these subconscious stories that you can learn to heal from the pain and suffering that lies within you. Can you think of all the possible experiences that may have been ingrained in you without you even realizing it? Can you imagine all the thoughts, feelings, and experiences you have faced that are subconsciously affecting your life and you don't even know it? Were you bullied in school? There is a story to be processed. Did you feel incapable or inadequate around your family? There is a story to be processed. Have you lost a loved one that made you feel like it changed your life forever? There is a story to be processed. Are you angry? There is a story to be processed. No matter the experience you had, without learning to recognize it, process it, heal it, and let it go, you will remain mentally and physically stuck in the past and unable to dream about the future. If you don't process these situations in a healthy way, they will build up in you and you will find unhealthy coping strategies instead. All of these suppressed emotions will be exhibited in other ways, such as signs of anxiety, depression, panic attacks, suicidal thoughts, or other physical symptoms found on the anxiety spectrum. If you continue to hold on to all these unprocessed thoughts, feelings, and emotions, you will end up erupting like a volcano. But why does this happen? Because we constantly distract ourselves. We are constantly on our cell phones or sitting in front of a TV or always in go, go, go mode that prevents you from savoring the good times and taking a moment to gain insight from the bad ones. Because if we didn't have bad days, you wouldn't be forced to grow. But if they aren't processed appropriately, it will stop you from developing the skills necessary to grow a healthy brain and develop emotional intelligence to cope with life. This limits your ability to work through hardships and overcome diversity. But this can all be changed with neuroplasticity. Neuroplasticity is the ability to grow new neural pathways in your brain so you can actively change the way you think, feel, and perceive the world. But this requires an intentional daily choice to change your ingrained automatic emotional responses. Your emotionally immature caregivers would have passed on unhealthy coping strategies themselves. It is only by deliberately learning the strategies to unpack those suppressed and ingrained emotions that you can finally live a life of bliss. The only way to heal is to confront the uncomfortable. You need to recognize that personal growth isn't growth until it's personal. You need to process the hard times so that life is no longer about what happened to you that matters, but rather how you respond to it. You can stop your emotions from controlling you and finally learn how to control them. But how do you do that? You work your way around the circle of acceptance. The circle of acceptance is how you can escape the darkness of your mind and walk towards the light in your future. The first step requires establishing self awareness with a combination of a very specific form of writing called neuroscribe, a 5 step process. You will begin to notice the intricacies of your life so you can start living your life intentionally and start shaping it into what you want it to become. A study done by Dr. Urich discovered that 900 people out of 1,000 believed they were self aware, but in reality, only 100 to 150 people actually were. Through this specific 5 step process that only requires 15 minutes a day, you will be guided to develop an emotional vocabulary and learn to tap into your subconscious mind. This is where you uncover the ingrained stories that are subconsciously holding you back, so you can finally learn to let go of the pain and suffering of your past. This is how you learn to move forward from tragic incidents keeping you stuck. This is how you find your old self, even though you may have thought they were lost forever. This is how you become stronger, wiser, and more resilient, and finally take back your life. This is how you obtain a life of bliss. I know it might be hard to feel like bliss is possible. I have been there, but I am here to provide you hope and show you there really is a way. No matter what you are going through, you can overcome it. Just like past clients from 35 Days to Emotional Freedom learned, they could do the same. After 14 days, Brian was able to get in the car and drive to the grocery store after adamantly saying he wouldn't drive because of panic attacks. After 10 days, Nancy recognized that drinking alcohol was simply because her family did it, and she doesn't even like it, so she stopped. After 18 days, Mary relinquished control and left a narcissistic relationship. After 30 days, Christina realized the toxic relationships in her life and decided she deserved better. After 10 days, Chris reported learning more than 5 therapy sessions. Regardless of what you are going through, there is always a way. You just have to decide enough is enough. And it's time that you deserve better. It's time to take back your life. You got this. I'm rooting you on every step of the way.